Okay, as promised, I'm going to answer a question that you might be thinking right now. Hey, Mr. Harrell, what if I would like to include some music on my 6-week playlist, portfolio, employee example, whatever we want to call it? I've got some music I'd like to include on there. Well, if you've got some sort of track you want to put it on there, that's awesome. Let me give you a little rundown on a way that I think would work really well for that. Here's a project. I'm going to bounce it the way I normally would. Project or selection. In here, I'm going to say this really doesn't matter, but it's going to get converted into basically an MP4 as it gets uploaded to YouTube. So I'm going to say let's go all the way on it. Let's go ahead, PCM. Let's set this to 48,000 and let's click OK. Now I've already done that. I've already imported that into Final Cut Pro. You should make a new event. I didn't make a new event. I was in too big of a hurry. Now, just like before, if we go and drag and drop something into our project that's not a clip, we're going to get some message asking us what's what. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to cancel that because I'm going to get that message, but I want to find it a different way. I'm going to click this button that says show the titles and generators. And I happen to like blobs, but clouds are good too. Glimmer. We're going to pick one of these, maybe one that matches our music a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pick blobs, and I'm going to pick it up and drag it down into the timeline. Now I'm getting that similar message. 1080, 2398. This is, okay. That's good. Now, if you get something crazy here, look for this 1080. That's HD, standard HD. Everything else should fall into place. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK on that. Then I can go back into my project and I'm going to drag that music down underneath that. Okay, and I'm going to hit one of my favorite shortcuts, Shift Z, which fits it in the timeline. Uh-oh, what's happened? My music is longer than that generator that I just added. So I'm going to drag it out a little bit, maybe even a little bit beyond that. And then I'm going to select it, and there's a shortcut that will add what's called the default transition. Here's the transition browser, and the default transition is a cross dissolve right here, and the shortcut that adds that at the beginning and end of the selected clip is Command and then T, default transition. So now I've got almost like a screensaver that's going to go with my music here. It really kind of fits the music. It starts off pretty dark here. However, I could click on that. I could hit Command 4, or I could hit that little icon that gets me up into the inspector, and I could pick some different colors, maybe something else that I liked. If I decide that I don't care for that particular generator, I can go back and I can pick another one, hold it over the top, let go when I get that little plus sign. I'm going to choose Replace from Start. Look at that, it filled it all the way, start to finish. Now the last thing I'm going to do, because I want this to be a nice finished product, is I'm going to go into the lower thirds text, and I'm going to pick one again that I think fits my music. Maybe a basic lower third that you have, maybe the gradient center. I'm going to drag that in up front. I'm going to zoom in, and that's where I'm going to type in some information about my music. Shift Z, drag the end of that. There we go. Now I've got something that is fit for YouTube. As soon as I hit the share master file, double check that it's H.264. You don't have to double check. After this, after a few weeks, you're going to recognize it's pretty much always like that. But there's been times where I've wanted to only export audio or video, and then I've left it that way, and it can be a little frustrating if it takes a while. So I tend to click that settings button, give it a once over. So there you go. You've got yourself a file. Now you can put that into your YouTube playlist.